Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sonarlala, and before we get into this video, I'm going to let you know the gameplay from our first home game as the Las Vegas Lights will play in the background, but more importantly, I'm going to talk about this series, this franchise, the direction we're going in. So this will kind of be like a outside perspective of the team and of the series on YouTube, so this video is going to be very self-aware, and then we'll have some highlights from our first home game. Going into this game, we were 0-2. We lost to the Spurs by a score, I believe, of like 96 to 75. And then the second game was to the Pacers that we lost in overtime. But during that game, Paul George suffered a broken left ankle, and he's out for 2 to 3 months. So I guess we got a minor victory, if you consider that a victory. Personally, I hope he's well. But the Las Vegas Lights are an expansion team that are able to join before the start of the 2016-2017 regular season. So we went through the NBA draft, and we went through an expansion draft, but not free agency. So as of right now, our starting five are Murray, who's our rookie first-round pick from the 2016 draft at point guard. Then we were able to get Tim Hardaway Jr. for our shooting guard, Kyle Singler at our small forward, and we got Kevin Garnett powered forward. I realize KG's 40 years old, but we wanted some veteran leadership on the team, and we wanted someone who's been around for a while. That center, we have Cristiano Felicio, who in my opinion, is probably our best player. Very underrated, very undervalued, and I consider him our steal of the expansion draft. Now, with us going through and joining the league at the time period that we did, it allowed for some interesting preseason antics to happen. Case in point, Dwayne Wade signed with the Suns, not the Bulls. KD elected to stay with the Thunder in OKC. Derrick Rose was traded to the Timberwolves. And to me, that's a little different, as even King LeBron himself instead went to the Bulls, and Dirk Nowitzki went up north to Portland. So, in this league, we have some very interesting mixing and matching of big twos, big threes, just older veterans definitely stepping away from their traditional background or teams. Now, as for us, we elected to go with not young, not old, kind of in the middle players kind of build, because to be honest, we're not expecting to make the playoffs. We're not expecting to really make anything. Actually, we don't know what to expect. We're a new team. We got some old faces, we got some new faces, we got some faces your mama ain't even heard of. We're all over the place with who we have on our team. We have veterans, we have journeymen, we have young guys who haven't really got their chance to shine. So that'll be interesting. Now, as you can see here, we have a very good defensive team, but at this point in time, we're on offense, and we actually had a key moment where our rookie point guard called for a one-on-one, tried to drive the lane, and he goes up for the shot, which he makes, but the key thing is he's going to be out for 2 to 3 weeks with a sprained, I believe, left and or right ankle. So that puts us down at point guard, but we were able to sign David Stockton, and we have Kendall Marshall already on roster, so that gives us a little versatility. And also, Singler can fill in at the number 1 role if we need him to, but with as big and physical as he is, we like to kind of keep him in the middle of the court or down low at forward. And we still have a Hopkins, who's another rookie in our reserves, who we called up, but he's a raw talent, raw prospect. Don't expect him to see maybe more than 5 minutes a game. Really, he needs like a year to develop before we can really trust him with the keys to the franchise until Murray gets back. But again, it's only 2 to 3 weeks, and then Murray will be back. But I do like our chances, though, even though, again, Hopkins is a raw prospect, middle of the road team. I'd be happy with 500. I'd be happy with, honestly, getting 20 wins. But again, back to my earlier point, as you can see here, we pride ourselves on our defense. We've got a really good defense. This game, you see a lot of offense, which is very unusual for us. We're more of score when we can, but we don't necessarily take the best shots that we should. But sometimes our defense is lucky enough to get a steal there from the backup center, which is ridiculous. He's crazy. And I mean, our second chance points, they come and they go, but they're pretty consistent. On the season, Tim Hardaway Jr. leads us in 17 points per game. Felicio leads us with 7 rebounds per game. Murray with 7.5 assists, but now with Murray out, the real challenge is who's going to step up and be the passer for us. We do pass quite a bit, so we average quite a lot of assists per game, but it's something we're going to miss considering he gets 7 of them, which that seems, for me, having a young guy who really wants to play, really wants to shoot, I'm kind of happy to see him be able to pass it that much. And now the game itself, this one in particular is our first home game. Honestly, it was very one-sided. I was surprised how we were able to keep Houston down, but most of that was due to the fact we limited Howard and Harden. Outside of that, Beverly got a few good shots on us, but I mean, our defense is stifling. It can't be what it wants to be, but the issue is, as a whole, we'll have mental breaks. Like right here, we have a huge mental break when we allow the three. We run a lot of 2-3 zone because we want the rebounds. But the coach and I have been talking. We're looking at going to maybe a 3-2 or go man to man. But my personal opinion is, after drafting the team I drafted and watching them in practice, man to man won't be our strength. We don't have very many quick guys, very many fast guys. We have a lot of guys that can steal and just play straight up D. But as a whole, I don't think it'll be a good mix just due to the lack of, well, speed. Speed kills. I mean, how many times have you seen LeBron run downfield or throw a baseball pass across court? Now, sometimes we get good steals that lead to slams. We get quite a few of these in this game, but I mean, you can't have that every game, unfortunately. It looks pretty, it looks good, but you can't do it every game because eventually they'll catch on and, well, you're going to miss a dunk. But the good mix we do have is our bench scored 40 points to their 21. We out-rebounded them 59-48, and we had 42 points in the paint to the 28, which is good because we have a habit of shooting quite a lot of threes, but when we get in the paint, we're solid. And as you can see here, when we get in the paint, we'll see stuff like this. The big boy, the center, your boy, getting player of the game with 16 points and 19 rebounds and 2 assists. I hope you all enjoyed this. Feel free to like, follow, and subscribe.